for the man he became, his character and gentleness. I remember these qualities from 40-some years ago, and I'm proud that he carried them with him and through his whole life. And I have one poem to share. What cancer cannot do. Cancer is so limited. It cannot cripple love. It cannot shatter hope. It cannot corrode faith. It cannot eat away peace. It cannot destroy confidence. It cannot kill friendships. It cannot shut out memories. It cannot silence courage. It cannot invade the soul. It cannot reduce eternal life. It cannot quench the spirit.
For those of you who do not know me, my name is Bob Cooper. I was one of Tom's best friends. It's with great sadness I stand in front of you today to celebrate his life. Tom's life was taken away from us too soon, and it's hard to understand why tragic things happen to such great people. However, this is a question without an answer, and we're not going to dwell on that. Instead, we'll look forward to the future. Colleen asked that I help celebrate his life and share with you what I think encapsulates Tom's remarkable qualities as a friend. And I'm sorry, Colleen, I tried to just hit one quality, but the shortest I could get to was 4. So bear with me. The first is that Tom was easygoing. Tom and I met at Western Michigan University, where Tom and I became roommates. This was through happenstance that Tom was actually a friend of a friend who invited me to the 4th in an apartment lease. And when I moved my meager belongings into the apartment, and I was told that Tom would soon be home from work at Radio Shack. And I sat waiting to meet Tom, looking at a little radio-controlled truck that was parked neatly in the corner of the room. I wasn't sure whose it was, and I didn't want to let on how desperately I wanted to play with that truck. Tom came through the door, and he introduced himself, and we started talking. He could see that I was eyeing the truck. And he said, "Do you want to play with the truck?" And I said I did, and I'll never forget this because this was a standard answer that Tom gave just about every time that him and I had a conversation from there till the end of his life. His answer was, "Yeah, sure." We chatted the rest of the night, and he played with the truck until the batteries died. Tom loved people, and he loved helping people with a generous spirit. Tom was instrumental in my start in a banking career. Tom, being a gifted student, was sought after by employers for internships and jobs, and one day he saw I was struggling to find a job that I could do during the day, take evening classes to finish my degree. He told me that First of America Bank had lined up an interview with him for a job in their corporate marketing department, and he had also been offered simultaneously an internship with Gilmore Advertising Agency, and he elected to take that internship mostly because it was cooler, and Tom always did cool things. Anyway, Tom suggested that I go and take the interview with the bank, and I said, "But Tom, I can't just go over there and show up when they're expecting you." And he said, "Why not? They're just sitting there waiting for somebody to meet with." I said, "But Tom, I'm not even a business major." If they ask, just tell them that you are and go switch your major on Monday. And I said, the time is supposed to have a minimum GPA of 3.5, and he said, if that comes up, just change the subject. So I showed up at the appointed time, and the HR manager and the hiring manager warmly shook my hand and said, Tom, it's great to meet you. To which I said, I'm not Tom. I'm Bob. Tom's not coming, but he thought I might be able to do this job. Well, they agreed with him, and 20 years later, a career is born.
Wow.
Third point, Tom had a great sense of humor. And actually, looking out today, this season reminds me often of him. I remember Christmas shopping with him for a gift for his nephew Max. And Tom was pulling out a toy laser gun and pulling the trigger and listening to the noise and putting it back, and I finally asked him, isn't that going to kind of annoy your brother and sister-in-law on Christmas morning? Yeah, sure, was his answer. Now help me test all of these. I'm going to find one with a higher pitch. So there we were, two 20-somethings in a Toys R Us playing with our laser guns. And lastly, Tom loved to share, and he really appreciated the simple things of nature. He loved the outdoors, and he loved sharing. So much that he would routinely lead a trip up to the El Salvo River or the Manistee National Forest with myself and other college friends. He would smile and hang his head as we would be unpacking the car with blenders and electric blankets and Christmas lights that we wanted to outline our campsite, looking for the outlets that didn't exist. Tom introduced us to roughing it. And while the love of living off the land didn't exactly rub off on us, our collective bewilderment and appreciation for hot, running, and cold water when we returned from the wilderness was. So Tom, I will remember you for the rest of my days, and remember to put just a few more yeah sure's in my day to help with the generous spirit of helping and sharing. Keep the sense of humor going, and most of all, just appreciate the simple beauty of days like today, with the snow on the ground. I think you would like that. I'm going to conclude with just a short poem. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am a diamond glint on snow. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you wake in the morning hush, I am swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circling flight. I am the soft starlight at night. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there, I do not sleep.